last time in our campaign, the party pushed deeper into the Hands Underground operation, emerging first into the beast pens, where a cruel Beastmaster was training dire wolves. There's blood staining the sand. The cages were shaking, and you guys fought him, and it was epic and also relatively quick. And it was also very apropos to this group, where the combat was not a lot of swinging swords. It was mostly you stab him and then the psychic damage did more than anything, and you guys just psychically crippled this guy until he was so just broken as a human that he gave up, and then you guys put him in a cell with some food. And then you moved on to the next room, where you found basically a factory where some kind of liquid was being gathered and bottled, and there were these strange alchemists in there, this rat leader and their kobold workers, who tried to attack you with an explosive onset of combat where they literally threw bombs at you and then dropped more bombs, and definitely didn't almost cause multiple people to die. But good news, you did not die, and you ended up defeating them. And they ran, and you guys were left in the room with a moment to catch your breath. And when we left off, the room, some of those machines had cracked, and there was mist starting to fill the air. And so you guys realized you did not have the time to take a long rest, per se, to really get some sleep and gather yourselves, but you were at least able to sit down for a moment and collect your thoughts. So that is the situation that we left you guys in, and that is also where we will pick up for today. You guys are in this cavern. The room is slowly filling with mist. And you guys look around. That's maybe too loud. I'll bring it down just a bit. What do you guys want to do? As you guys, if there's any conversations that you guys want to have before you move on, as you guys are gathering yourselves and getting some rest, hopefully refilling some spell slots, and regaining some strength, maybe sipping some water with electrolytes that you have in your pack, eating some lembus bread or whatever you have on you.
As is just meditating, for his short rest, he's kind of, taking in some of the conversations that were had about, whether or not he should open the door, confront it, close the door, and force it shut and keep it shut, or taking exterior influences to forget about the door and kind of contemplating the direction to go. Confused,
really good
kind of scared. But also part of him is, oddly, as he's meditating, he feels like he's almost reveling or craving this new power that he all of a sudden has, that he, as a kid, he's felt so helpless for the majority of his life because of everything that's happened. And now he finally is feeling the sense of power. And he's kind of flirting with that idea of, what if I just use this?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Just as maybe an addendum to the recap, there was that really powerful conversation where you talked about this darkness that you felt was kind of emerging, and you got different feedback of either you can't just let it control you, so either you need to try and address it and learn it and understand it, so that then you can kind of control it and use it for good, or Luna, who's with you, offered, hey, maybe you could just kind of forget about it, whatever this memory is that's creating this pain. And we have these potions that could help you forget about it. So yeah, that makes sense that you'd be kind of, still kind of rolling that around in your mind and processing.
Ghana is going to go ahead and create some more peanuts because he has a feeling that this is, we're going to need them.
Touché.
Doc also flicks out his Ion Stone of Reserve, and the blue stone just starts floating around his head. And he pulls one of the spells from the stone and casts Aid on the entire party, which increases everyone's max HP by 5 hit points.
I am loving that. I will happily take that.
That is helpful.
Yeah, I thought that might be helpful to have.
Yeah.
So Gunna will be making 10 peanuts. He is going to hand 3 to everybody. There's
Wait,
1 extra.
Luna gets it.
What does aid do?
Aid increases your temporary hit points by 5.
No, max.
No,
It's
your
max
maximum.
HP.
Your maximum hit points by 5.
So you can
sorry.
heal it back, which is beautiful
Yeah,
because
that's
temp
right,
HP
that's
just
right.
disappears. But this you can heal
That's
back,
right.
which is awesome.
That's right.
And with the 1 extra peanut, we said that Ghana grabbed 2 vials of the pure liquid. One of them he gave to Ez, and I'm pretty sure Ez poured it down that rat's throat.
Oh yeah.
But the
Oh, that's right. You guys bottled the most concentrated version of his potion and poured it down the rat's throat to knock him into like a comatose state for a little while.
And stole bombs off his body.
And stole
yeah.
bombs from him.
Looted.
So Ghana-
For people trying not to do war crimes and violence, you guys are towing that line
Yo,
pretty
it's
good.
not a war crime the first time, all right? It's not a war crime the first
no,
time.
it's a
We don't know.
temporary. It's temporary. It's not permanent.
Is that the slogan that this adventuring party is taking?
No, it'd be
We have come to another
psychological
country, it costs a
warfare.
little
It's
bit
not a
of
war
chaos.
crime the first time.
So, with the last peanut, Ghana is going to pop open the vial and put the peanut in the liquid and close it.
Oh.
Interesting.
Do you have a vial of high concentrate potion? Okay.
And putting one of the healing peanuts in it.
You're putting a peanut in the potion, like you're pickling it?
I guess
New
so.
recipe for Doc.
Like basically like putting it in and then closing it so that the peanut starts absorbing it. Or the potion starts absorbing the healing. Either one, really. It's either going to be a memory wiping healing peanut or a memory wiping healing potion. One or the other is going to happen.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You can do that. I'll figure out what that does. I'll figure out the science of this world.
Worst case, Doc just got into the drug trade in his tavern, apparently.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, man.
We're gonna start selling these things.
Breaking Doc.
As the party is kind of talking and gathering and preparing for what they believe could be a tougher fight, Doc looks to Luna and Ghana and Ez and says, "We are going to destroy this operation before we leave, correct?"
Ez just nods. Doesn't say anything.
Ghana would nod.
Luna, we can't leave this kind of power in anyone's hands that could use it.
You look over and she's like, she's in a corner where there's like some miscellaneous cobblestone, like some just like kind of rocks on the ground. You used to hear kind of like picking up some rocks and like tossing them in the air to see how heavy they are. And she looks over and she's like, oh yeah, I thought that was a given. I think this would be a pretty good rock for throwing at some of these glass machines here, if you're all good with that. Yeah.
I'm thinking we probably need to find the source.
On the way out.
Yeah, and not even then. I'm thinking as we leave, and ultimately this stuff, yeah, it should probably
fire.
be destroyed. Well, possibly.
Are you saying we light this whole underground place on fire? Because that sounds like a blast. No pun intended.
You know,
I mean, if we find out
maybe.
who's in charge here, I can find out where the source is.
Do you
If
guys
we
have
don't know.
gasoline or
What's gasoline?
you guys have flammable, like oil for your lanterns or
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that. We have
gunpowder kegs?
I don't just
As
carry
you-
gunpowder.
As you don't know Fireball, do you? Right?
No, I'm more of like break your brain than break your face. I'm different. I'm not like Polaris.
Yeah.
I break the insides, not the outsides.
Oh yeah.
Lars would have a fireball.
He breaks
I
the
miss her a
outsides.
lot. I hope she
Yeah.
joins us again next week at you know, the time.
Next Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time. Hope
What's
she
happening?
finds her way back.
Luna looks over and like, "Oh, what are you guys doing next week? Are you guys have another adventure planned for in a week?"
We
mean,
are
if-
always adventuring.
I mean, if you
Oh,
survive,
that sounds so fun. What do you mean? What is this? What are you? What are you saying,
It's don't
if?
worry about it. Don't
well,
worry.
there's this deity in the sky. He might write you out of the story. I don't know. Hopefully you survive. I can't. We can't control him.
I don't love this concept. All of a sudden, I'm having to wrestle with. I've never really thought about. You guys, well, all right. Suffice to say, when it comes
Donna's
to
gonna look to the group.
breaking and blowing things up, I'm on board.
think we should
I'm on
move
board for
forward.
that.
For the time being, is there any way to at least shut the machine off?
Can I roll for insight?
Go for it.
The investigation?
It's a 15.
Insight or investigation?
I rolled for insight, so I mean I can roll for investigation if you'd like, if that would be the better roll.
Insight will tell you if you have any insights about. It's more about like people.
All right, let's investigate.
Oh,
That's a 19.
Nat 20.
Actually, that's a nat 20.
Nat
but I
20
have
is
the
what
minus
that
one,
is. Let's
so-
go.
Yeah.
First-
So with a nat 20,
show me the lever.
you get who asked that question? Did you ask or did Ghana ask? I don't remember.
Donna asked, should we look for a way to at least shut the machine off in the meantime?
Oh yes. So you asked that question and you look over and Doc is just kind of leaning and thinking, and he's leaning on a big valve, like a big, like one of those big turny things, and it just says,
Off.
"Master shut off valve."
Yeah, emergency shut off.
Yeah. Master shut off for bottling plant, and big arrows pointing which direction to turn it in.
I mean, say what you want about this ramshackled
you've already
operation.
found
They're very good at organizing. You know, they're
Good
very
signage.
yeah, very
ADA
good
compliant
signage.
for sure.
Very good. If OSHA wants to sponsor the channel, we're open.
It's right
Yeah.
next to like a giant OSHA and HIPAA like thing on
Sign.
the wall.
Know your
They've
workers'
got,
rights.
They've got a cork board. You look up, there's a cork board that's got a little signage about like, the PPE compliance that they're supposed to wear, the safety equipment they're supposed to wear here,
Time off,
it's got,
minimum
like,
wage.
the phone number for their
Health
human
benefits.
resources department. Yeah,
found
if they
it
want to
all.
get their 401k matching, here's the phone number to call for their financial guy. Amazing.
So good.
So you shut it off and you see that these
I'm here for it.
all of the various things start to like, what the liquid that's in them kind of finishes going through and the bubbling settles down, and there's still a decent amount of this mist in the air, and you notice that your minds are starting to feel a little bit just fuzzy, like maybe if you're getting too dehydrated or something, you're just starting to feel like you're just kind of starting to notice that maybe it's starting to affect you, and your eyes are kind of stinging a little bit, but you have managed to turn these machines off for now, these bottling machines.
We need to get
think
out
we
of this
should-
room.
Yes, I agree.
And Ez would start making his way to looking to see if there's a door
Downtown.
anywhere.
When you say
That works too.
yeah, there's a door down here that they were
And
like.
there's also a
heading
door
towards.
up in the corner as well.
Yeah, there's only the one in the top right corner. The other one doesn't exist.
Oh.
You know what? You can go through either one. I don't care.
Oh,
I'm a
then
generous
Let's go down the
kid.
other one.
I'll
Let's
let
go
you
down
go
the other
through
one.
either of the doors that I've
Let's
put in
walk
front
through
of
the
you.
mist-filled room a little bit longer.
Just for the chaos, let's do it. Let's send it through. Let's keep our DM on his toes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Alright.
That one leads directly to the BBEG.
As you walk through the
Shortcut.
door, there's fire in front of you and an open pit, and you fall 300 feet to your death. The end of the game.
All right.
No.
Good
that's not what
game.
happens. You guys step into. Let's
I was fucked up.
let's move over here. Hold, please. Let me grab all your little tokens here. Bloop, bloop.
Yeah, Polaris would be the only one alive. Teleports in, so where'd everybody go?
Polaris is just waiting. She's just sitting there for like 4 years waiting in. Okay. You guys step into a room. Let me describe this room for you. The space is vast and almost silent. Rows of these beds stretch out in front of you, each containing a motionless body that looks, if you look closely, you could tell they're breathing, but sleeping. With tubes running from their temples and chests, pulsing gently as if with a distant heartbeat. At the far end of the chamber, you can make out there's a large creature sitting at the top of what almost looks like a fountain. And there's a liquid flowing down from this creature through this fountain and down this like little creek that goes down the center of the room between all these beds. And it's from that little stream that all of these people have these tubes hooked into them. As your eyes are kind of adjusting to the room, it's much brighter than the previous room. It's very beautiful. It's like carved stone. There's strange plants growing out of this liquid. You see, your eyes kind of adjust, and there's this ancient isopod creature. It's, again, at the top of this fountain. Its segmented shell is the size of a wagon. Pale, it's shiny, and it has these eyeballs across the entirety of its back, kind of like a crustacean. It's got those like whisker tentacle kind of things coming out at the front, and it's just sitting there on the ground, and you see the eyeballs that are going across its back all open, and you just kind of blink, and they kind of look around the room and clock you guys as you come in, and they just seem kind of interested. It doesn't seem like it doesn't get up or move in any aggressive way. It just kind of watches you guys curiously, and you get the immediate sense that this thing is unfathomably old. It's not angry. It just kind of recognizes that you're there. And it kind of does a little shudder as all of its scales kind of clink and shake and settles in again and continues to produce this ooze that's going down the center of the room. You also notice that not far from you, there are a couple of those kobold alchemists, and they are tending to the various people in these beds. They're kind of scurrying around, walking from bed to bed, just kind of checking in on people, making sure that they're good and that the connections are secure. And then there are a couple of guards standing right at the foot of the stairs in front of you that lead down into this area. And they are kind of just standing, making sure that nobody comes in and interferes with the events that are unfolding here. So you guys, there's kind of two halves to this room, 2 rows of beds, and with the door that you guys just came in through, you're in front of one set of stairs that would lead down the right side of the room. What do you want to do?
I want to do something that is a little bit different. And I need to talk to you as the DM before I do it. I would like to cast Augury.
Fireball.
Augury.
Oh.
No, not Fireball. Augury.
Okay.
And Augury is an opportunity for me to find out if what we're about to do will cause weald or woe or nothing. Both or nothing. So weald for good results, woe for bad results, weal and woe for both good and bad results, or nothing. So the results aren't especially good or bad.
You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 seconds. The DM chooses the omen from the omens table.
I would like to try.
What is the course of action?
I would like to try to commune with, like, this is one of the first time where I try to commune with the, I don't know. Let me tell you what I want to do. I want to figure out whether or not destroying this creature is a good or a bad decision.
Yeah, fair enough. So you are going to say with the assumed course of action, you in your head are thinking, you're trying to weigh, is this the right thing to do? If I run in here and I destroy this isopod, is that good? And you, here's what I'm gonna say. You've had a sense of this before, but you've never quite, maybe, you've just kind of always assumed that this was just your conscience or your own natural insight that you had from years of combat. And for the first time, there's something about this moment and this experience where you're realizing you get the very tangible and distinct sense that this is not just your own brain that's responding, but this connection that you have with the Lord of the Whales and that you've had for so long is becoming very tangible, and you feel like he's almost reaching out to you. And without words, without language, you get the very real sense that the Lord of the Whales has a connection with this ancient isopod. It is maybe not as ancient as the Lord of the Whales, but it is also very ancient, and it is neutral. It is not an evil creature. And so you get the sense from the Lord of the Whales that it would be grieved if the isopod were to be killed, and that something would be lost from the world if it were to be destroyed. But also, that it is grieved that it is being used this way, and that it's being used to hurt people. And so the basic sense is that you feel like the Lord of the Whales would discourage you from wanting to kill this isopod unless you have to.
Was Doc in like some sort of spiritual trance, or was he just like, is this a gut feeling from?
I think that's a gut feeling. There's the way, without getting into like psychology, like anyone has experienced that. You have a gut feeling. Those happen in an instant, and to like explain it like I just did takes a minute, but you understand all of that in just a moment. Just like when you see someone's expression and you know what they're feeling.
So Doc looks at the group and says, that creature is very old, like the Lord of the Whales. I don't know as old, but we need to save it. I know we need to save it.
After hearing that, Ez is going to sit down and he's going to put up his finger 1 second, and he's going to start ritually casting Speak with Animals.
How long does that take?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay, so as
I
you
said
sit
1
down,
second.
The guards are like, why is that? Why
yeah,
are they just standing at the top of the stairs for like 7.5 minutes?
So you guys walked in, you had a moment to kind of take in the scene. Doc, you turn, and you've had this kind of gut sense of like, this is the path forward. You weighed, could we kill this thing? And you've kind of had this gut response of, no, I don't think that's right. And this guard that's down here sees you and starts to come up the stairs, and comes to you at the top of the stairs, says, "Oi then, what can I do for you? We're not supposed to have any visitors here in the Dream Vault."
Is Ez meditating currently? Is that what's happening right now?
As it's just sitting on the ground.
Gotcha. Perfect. Hello, my good sir. I am here to learn a little bit more about this operation. I'm very curious about how the Dream Vault works. What's going on here? I am potentially interested in some really good dreams. I was sent all the way through. They said I needed to come here and see it to believe it. Could you tell us about this operation?
But you're one of the nobles you're here to tour the facility and to see it. Is that what I'm to understand? Where are you from? What line of industry are you in?
Well, you see, my good man, I actually run a tavern, and we are looking to possibly bottle and sell the good stuff, if you know what I mean. And so I wanted to come and just see the entire operation for myself, so I can find out, like, is it safe? Is it well put together? I don't want anyone to get sick from doing this. And I kept hearing about this glorious creature that that you receive this magical, this mind-altering liquid from, and I have to see it for myself. You know, health and safety regulations when you're running a tavern, it's very, very important that I know everything is above board.
Oh, right. That I get. We've got our OSHA compliance right up there, and he points up. There's another cork board that's got all their OSHA compliance and the rules. Totally understand. Now, normally we, if there's ever, which is rather rare that we ever have people down here, but when we do, this guy's a little bit from like maybe New York and also sometimes from Australia, because that's just how it works when I try to do.
We love it.
Well, not New York. He's from like Britain / Australia. He went to international school. He's like, normally we have a guide that would be bringing you through, and it seems like maybe you guys got ahead of him. Where's your guide then?
Luna? You guys don't know Luna? She's been an excellent guide the entire way through. She's part of the family here, and you know, she's one of the new tour guides, and she's done a great job bringing us through this entire thing. You know, I plan on tipping her on the way out.
Luna kind of skips forward, and she's like, "That's exactly right. I'm here to tour them through, and I've brought them so far, and would love to have you guys. You know, basically what I've been doing is in each room, letting the lead of that room kind of give the in-depth tour, because really, you know, who knows what's happening here better than the people who are on the. Sometimes some tour guides, they like to pretend like they know it all, but you know, we know that really nobody knows what's going on the way that you guys do. So, absolutely, because she's giving you help. You can roll for persuasion with advantage to see if this guy is convinced that
Persuasion.
You guys aren't just. Yeah,
Got
this.
Well, let's do it. Advantage?
Yeah, you get advantage because she's helping you.
That's an 18. And
Ooh, let's go.
a 23.
Okay, so this guy's like, checks out to me. That sounds great. Wonderful. We don't get a lot of visitors down here, and always happy to give someone a tour. Honestly, we are really proud of our work, and happy to be able to show someone what we've got going on. Side note, I was distracted for a moment because it smells like, well, something was on fire, and I was like, what is that? It was burning popcorn upstairs. Our house smells like burning popcorn.
Your PC is just on fire next to you, just
I texted my wife and I said, either there's popcorn being made or our washing machine is on fire and was filled with butter. And you tell me.
I mean, the irony of that, I mean, that'd be really funny.
He's like, I knew I forgot to take the butter stick out of my pocket.
And somehow
typical.
catches the washing machine on fire.
If it's not change, it's butter. Okay, so he's like, anyway, this guy's like, right then, let me show you. And he turns around and ushers you guys to kind of come along with him and leads you guys down the stairs toward kind of as you come down the stairs, you find yourselves now next to these beds. And he says, yeah, so this is really a pretty special. It's in one of the newer facilities that we've added to our operation here. Obviously, as you know, we've been bottling and doing all that for quite a long time. But just within the past few years, it's, you know, since Velrath left and the hands really have had a chance to do what we knew was right, what we should have been doing all along. We've added this facility and we call it the Dream Vault, and it's for only wealthiest patrons. Basically, you can see right up there, that's the Great Isopod. We love him. I like to call him Steve. No one really knows his name. I just feel like that's a friendly name, Steve. And Steve sits up there, and his you know, this liquid that he produces, it comes down through and it goes in, and you just came from the bottling room, it looks like, so you saw how we bottle it all up. before it goes there, this concentrated version. We take and we connect people straight to it like an IV, and they get tubes going straight in. And basically, people who have had hard lives, things that they'd rather not remember, they can just enter into a permanent dream-like state of forgetting all of that. And they can just live in a world where they don't have to remember all the pain and the difficulties of life. And they pay a subscription fee of a considerable amount per month. And basically, they could tell us whenever they want to come out of the comatose state. But otherwise, as long as they're in this comatose state, they just pay us a sizable sum, and we just keep them in that kind of suspended reality, enjoying the dream world of their preference. And it's worked out pretty well for us. We're thinking about expanding the operations, getting several dozen more beds down here. It's going pretty well, and these are my little sciencey guys over there. They like to do all the little sciencey things. I don't know what all that means, but they have screwdrivers and stuff. They're fun. We like to, throw rocks at them sometimes and whatnot when we're bored. But that's kind of the gist of it. Any questions that you guys had about all that?
While he's explaining this, Ghana just wants to test something. The liquid that's in like the little rivers, can Ghana attempt to use shape water and see if he can influence the liquid at all?
Oh, that's a good question.
Also, let me know when it's been 10 minutes.
Water.
Fair.
It's
right now, this
not
has just
water.
been a short conversation, so I don't think that you finished yet.
Yeah, just let me know so I don't interrupt.
Totally. That's a really good question. I think, in theory, shape water would be able to control most liquids because they have water in them.
Water as the base. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah. No, I think
like you're not going to allow someone to shape water to like control soup, but like would
Or
it
bloodbend?
Would it control? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did use it to try to knock over some soup before. No, that was magic.
No, I
hand.
used mage hand to try to knock
Mage
over
hand.
the soup.
Yeah.
But I think the less water it is, the less effective it is. So if you could control water pretty well, which you can, right? You did a whole water show before when you were in Mispache. Here, you try to cast it and you find that you're able to manipulate the water a little bit, but it's a little bit more resistant. It's like Jello kind of like it's not quite as malleable to your magic, but you can definitely manipulate it a little bit. You're able to like kind of push and pull it a bit. And I'll have you roll for stealth, see if you or sleight of hand
Sleight of hand.
to see if you can do that without
yeah.
these guys noticing that you're casting a spell of
Actually,
manipulating their precious
Hold on.
stuff.
Shape water. Yeah. Thematic. Sleight of hand.
Well, and they might even just notice that you've moved the water a bit or moved the.
I rolled a 12. I'm trying to do it like off in here just to see like if I can notice and I control it at all.
Okay. I think with a 12, you were being pretty subtle. So this guy maybe notices that you're doing something with your hands and is like a little bit like thrown by that, but he's not immediately like if this is a video game, it's like, the alert level went up a little bit, but they're not actually onto you yet,
Basically, the only thing I'm trying to figure out is could I lift liquid up out of the river, or is it more of just like push pull, like maybe I can get it to splash onto the ground, but I can't literally pick it up and like move it?
I think you'd be able to lift it. You'd be able to like move it. If you wanted to shape it into something very specific, you probably would really struggle to do like specific shapes or like intricate movements like you were able to do with water.
But if I wanted
But
to pick up like a blob of it, maybe like the size of a softball, I could.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's all he wants to know.
You gonna play some potion baseball?
Wooch wooch.
Who knows?
And if you hit it hard enough, it splashes and everyone goes unconscious.
I just all I know is now I have another another piece of a puzzle that I could potentially put somewhere.
So he's just kind of looking at you guys to see if you have any questions.
Yeah, my good man. What happens if one of these dreamers here are suddenly disconnected from the liquid? Like, what happens? What happens to them? Are they healthy? Are they okay? Does it take a little time to recover? Like, what are some of the health risks here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Here's the thing: we've never let someone come unplugged because then they might unsubscribe from the service, right? It would, which is not great for business. So, never happened. I actually don't know. Here's what I can tell you. He like pulls the blanket down a little bit on one of the guys so you can kind of see like their face and their shoulders, and you see that these bodies are like super emaciated. He's like, we don't really like they get enough nutrients from this liquid to survive and like not just like completely die, but any of the nobles that come in here, they pretty much just like wither to the point that they look a little bit like creepy mummies, and we don't really like to look at it because it's just kind of gross. And so we mostly just keep them there, and the idea is that they'll just stay there until, you know, the natural end of their life, and they'll just kind of stay in that dream state forever, and their bodies will kind of wither away into nothingness. But who cares? Because they're in a great dream, and in the dream, their body is probably great. So, you know.
Gotcha. Okay. Doc just side eyes Ghana.
You already see Ghana doesn't have a very happy look on his face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this guy roll for insight to see if he notices that.
The side eye.
Oh, well, he notices that you guys. He just kind of is like, you know, it doesn't seem like you guys are particularly thrilled with this. Is this not up to your standards? Because we feel a very great deal of pride in the way we've handled this operation. We feel like this is very elegant, very nice room, very wonderful setup for people who want this service. You guys seem maybe a little bit displeased with the quality of our work here, and I don't know why.
Well, my thing is, if they're, you know, hooked up and then they starve and die, then you only get so much money out of them. Whereas if you get a return customer over the course of a healthy life, you could increase the profitability by 80 years or more, depending on the species. So really, it's the
They seem to live to the
profitability seems to be the issue
point.
here.
Let me address that concern as a potential investor here. They seem to live as long, if not longer, than the average person. This guy over here, he came in here at the ripe old age of 60. You know, healthy age, right? But he's a human, right? Typical, maybe only had it. He's now 110. He's, you know, he looks withered and emaciated and stuff, but he's not dead. So they just kind of go into this like sort of mummified. You know, they're not taking any of those risks that you get out in the world. They're not, you know, eating all those processed sugars. They're just over here hooked up to this tube. You know, we don't know how long they live, but I'll just say no one's died in our watch yet. They just kind of, you know, sit in this liminal space of, you know, I don't know, this is really being called alive, but, you know, you call it what you want. We live in a gray area here. It's the crime world. You understand?
I understand.
As
sir. Yes,
puts
of
a
course.
smile on his face. See, next time you should lead with that, because we're looking to invest, which means it's a business opportunity. So we need to make sure that our money is being well spent. So you got to lead with the fact that it doesn't actually shorten their lifespan. I was under the impression it was shortening their lifespan. So now we've cleared
money,
that up.
yes.
Yeah, it makes way more sense, and I appreciate that.
Just for what it's worth, I'll say your ritual casting is done too, so you don't have to have that as a thing to worry about.
Okay.
Ghana's
Can
gonna
you-
approach. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, Ghana is going to approach like one of the bodies. You said that there's like sheets pulled over everybody?
Yeah, because they don't. He said that he doesn't like to look at them because they look gross.
Ghana's gonna walk up to one of the bodies and like pull the sheet down. First question.
As you
is
reach
this one
out to
alive?
move the sheet, one of the kobolds just appears next to you and slaps your hand. Hey, don't touch the patient. What are you doing?
No touchy.
I am a healer. It is important for me to inspect that everybody is in fact in good health.
What, you Famosha or something? What do you you here to inspect? And he looks over at the guy, the guard, and the guard just kind of nods at him, because you guys rolled a nat 20, so this guy fully trusts you. And the kobold's like, fine. He's like, you don't touch though, and he just kind of pulls down so you could see a little more of the person that's laying there.
Is this one alive?
Yeah. You can see that they're breathing. Again, pretty skinny looking. Like basically like no hair on their head. Big long beard has grown. No hair on the top of their head. Long wispy beard has grown, and but you can see that they're breathing, and it looks like they've just been sleeping for decades.
He kind of looks around the room. He goes, there seems to be quite a few of patients here. How many individuals are in charge of tending to them?
Well, so far we just got the two of us here little kobolds, and we each take 8 or so, because honestly, I'll tell you, the hell out of a job. They don't really move a whole lot. They just kind of hang out here and they just kind of sleep, and so we just make sure that nothing gets unplugged. But since no one else really comes through here, messes with anything, aside from the occasional nightmare when they kind of move around a little bit, pretty calm, and we just kind of hang out and tend to watch and make sure that that we adjust the levels a little bit, make sure there's not too much or too little or whatever. But if we expand, we'll probably get another couple guys in here, and that could be fun. Some new people to talk to. It's hard to make small talk with your buddies when there's not even weather to talk about because you're underground all the time and everything's pretty much the same. So it's pretty much just the two of us guys here, and our guard friends, but they just kind of throw rocks at us because they think we're nerds.
I see. There is something important that I should let you know of when tending to these patients. Can you please gather everyone here? I would like to show them something.
The other kobold kind of finishes what he's doing and looks over, kind of walks over. He's on the other side of this little river, but close enough to be able to hear you. This kobold is right next to you. This guard is here, and the other guard just kind of stands there because he doesn't think, he doesn't tend to the patient, so he doesn't really, care.
While Ghana's distracting them all with this, whatever he's about to do, Ez is going to kind of like nonchalantly point at the, well, you said it was a crustacean. What was it?
Isopod.
Isopod.
What's the range on message?
Let me find out. 120 feet. Am I 120 feet? Let me check.
Here's the thing.
Nah.
I'll let you do it. I mean, obviously, I'm using some maps that are like pre-made, so whatever. The size of the room isn't really the point. So
gotcha. I mean, if I have to move, I would move. Like if you wanted me to move, I would move.
No, I'm not that worried about it.
Whatever makes me in range. But here, actually, one quick thing. I'm gonna adjust something here because I want to make sure that everybody can see the isopod. Apparently I didn't have that in range. There we go. Everybody can see the isopod. But Ez is gonna kind of like nonchalantly point at like the isopod, and then he's going to use message into his mind with speak with animals. He's like, hi, I'm Ez. This is Ez. I'm the elf in the purple robe. I'm a friend. Do you are you here against your will? Do you want to be free? Because I can help you.
Mm.
This is Ez. Thank you for listening. Bye.
And
Casting message and
just remind
asking
me
questions, knowing that they can't respond to you.
Hey,
Yeah, with
for all
message-
you know, it's sentient in a unique way because it's ancient. Maybe it has
I was gonna
telepathy.
say with message,
They can't respond.
it doesn't
back
get to
in my
respond
mind.
unless it has telepathy.
But it
Yeah.
can speak to me because the thing is, I'm speaking to it with message. The thought process behind this was, Ez speaks to it in message. If it makes noises, no one's gonna know what it's saying except Ez. So like, it's gonna look a lot less weird if all of a sudden Ez says something, and then it says something back. Versus if he uses message, no one hears him, but the isopod does what it's going to do.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of like when you came in, you see after you say that the isopod, some of its eyes open and kind of look over in your direction, and its scales all kind of shudder and almost release like steam, like a truck, like the air brakes on a truck, and it just kind of it clacks and crackles with all of its scales, kind of settles back in. Have you ever seen like a dog when it lays down and just because that like long exhale kind of just like settles back in, and you just hear this kind of deep murmuring, almost like the sound of like deep ocean, but mixed almost with like sand or something, like it feels calcified and rocky, and it just kind of releases this almost moaning sound. And to everyone else, it just kind of sounds like it's just kind of making, it's not a loud noise. It just kind of sounds like it's making animal noises. Just, again, I have dogs. They just kind of sometimes make little grunts and stuff for themselves. And, but you as kind of get this, you hear it saying, it just says, hello. I have been here a long time. I would like, however, to be back in the ocean. It is cold here, and I don't sense that I'm doing much good. And also, those kobolds are kind of annoying. Thanks. Also,
Thanks, Az.
my name is not Steve. You could let them know that.
I was secretly hoping he was going to end it with, "This is Isopod."
Az is gonna respond if there's enough time. Can I be? Oh, sorry. This is Az, again, elf in purple robe. I want to be your friend, and we will help you get out of here. I'm not good with the ocean, but I'm sure. Well, one of my friends is good with the ocean, and he can help. His name is Storm, but don't tell him I told you that. But we'll figure it out. I'll let them know, and I can't tell them your name isn't Steve, because if they find out I'm talking to you, they'll get upset. This is Ez. Bye.
They brought me in here through a deep sea cave wall that they've since barricaded off and dammed up and created this dry environment. For what it's worth, I've always hoped that perhaps that deep sea cave wall could simply be eroded and I could be returned to my saltwater home. That way I don't have to crawl up to the surface and mill about up there.
Is it possible for Ez to impart this knowledge of what just happened between him and the creature to Doc and Ghana via message?
Message is just a cantrip, right?
Just a cantrip. But it would take time.
Yeah,
like
you can
he wouldn't
certainly
be able
do
to just
that.
like info dump for a second, info dump. I mean, it would take like multiple messages.
No, so the only caveat is if you do that, you'd have to maybe roll for stealth or some stealth. Probably
Right,
stealth
that's why I
to do
brought it
that
up.
in a way where it's not super noticeable. It's the equivalent of like if you're sitting at the dinner table and you're like trying to text other people at the dinner table without someone else noticing that you're talking about them. Like,
Right. No, right. Since Ghana's about to do his monologue, would that be considered helping me or no? Because he would in theory be doing this during the monologue.
Their eyes are
He
on
would be
you.
doing this in theory during the monologue.
So
So like this would be
you can
retroactively
impart-
happening at the same time.
This gives you advantage on communicating to Doc and to Luna, but
Okay.
it will not give you advantage if you try to communicate this to Ghana while he's doing whatever he's doing. It's going to be distracting for him. So that would be a roll. maybe just for you, Ghana, to be able to use your wisdom or intelligence or something to
like
be able to stay
concentration.
focused and keep doing whatever you're doing without getting distracted by this. They're trying to read a text while also like
Driving.
giving a speech. Well,
Yeah, don't
texting
do
while
that.
driving, nobody
Yeah,
would do
no
that.
one
That's
does
horrible.
that. That's not
No,
okay.
but texting while giving a speech.
Texting at work's one thing. Texting driving never. But yeah,
So
okay. So I will
you can message everyone if you want to message Ghana. Then Ghana, you'll have to roll for. You tell me. I'm thinking it would be intelligence or wisdom to be able to stay focused while you're all of a sudden getting this message.
I would love for it to be wisdom, but unfortunately,
it's fine.
Unfortunately, I would. If I was a DM ruling it, I would have it be intelligent.
I think.
What about a concentration check?
What are you doing?
What if you did a
What is it that
concentration
you
check?
want to do as your next course of action?
What is Ghana doing?
Yeah. What were you about to do?
Okay. I was going to call everybody over and direct their attention to the injection point, which would involve them getting a close look at the injection point. So, like the guys on the other side, he would say, I would like to draw your attention specifically to. You said it's injected into their neck?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple tubes. They're going into like their torso and their neck. Are you mostly just trying to create a distraction, or is it?
I am trying to get everybody to get really close.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it. Okay. So you point in. I think that is wisdom because you're not trying to give like a long, in-depth speech. You're just trying to point and get their focus on something. So yeah, just give me a quick wisdom roll, and we'll see if that's something where they notice that you get randomly distracted.
And then, do you want me to make a roll for each person, or just one roll overall?
No, the other people, no one's paying attention to. He's bringing everyone in.
So, beautiful. Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, so as you're drawing everyone in, and you had this plan, you get this info dump from Ez, where Ez comes into your mind and he's like, "Hey, I'm Ez. Creature told me his name isn't actually Steve," and all the different stuff. And there's apparently he was brought in through a well. There's a big wall somewhere down here that's been dammed up that leads out to the ocean. And he gives you all this information. And it's like when you walk into a room and you are like, "Wait, why did I just walk in here?" Like all these people have gotten really close, including the guard. And they're gathered around and they're looking really close. And you're like, "Look, right here at the injection point." And then this happens, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I see it. What about it?" And you have completely lost your train of thought about what you're about to do. At least for a moment. And they're like, what do you want? What about it?"
Kind of like takes a moment, pauses. He goes, we need to do what is best for these patients, as he just looks at Doc, and then he's gonna cast shape water on the liquid and toss it into one of the guards' face.
Great. Okay. So you shape water and you splash it on the guard's face. The guard is going to stumble back, just kind of reeling, and he looks at you and he just starts to smile and he's like, "Guys, this place is really great. And I gotta be honest, I've never had a bad thing happen to me in my life. I'm so happy." This is the other guard, the one that was kind of across the stream, kind of stumbles back. But the guard that was talking to you before looks over, and the other two kobolds, they all look at you and they're like, what was that all about? And he pulls his sword and he looks at you, and
Donna's already
they
pulling
are
out his
now pretty
shield.
upset.
Like that's why he looked at Doc before he did it.
There you go. So you guys have just a moment
Initiative.
to react to this before you. I will have you roll initiative, but I'll give you each of you a moment to kind of react to this moment of having just kind of instigated a fight here.
Touché.
I look, because honestly, that's so real. Like you like, I have a plan, and somehow like you kind of forget your train of thought, and you're like, "Sand, run!"
Yeah.
That wasn't the initial plan, but yeah, okay.
Doc, Ez, what are you guys gonna do?
Doc would just very quickly run up. Is there water separating them? Is that stream a thing?
This is the liquid from the isopod.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Looks
So
like
it's just a
5
stream,
feet.
and it is, yeah, it's maybe 4 or 5 feet wide. It's not a huge stream. You know, you could probably jump across it if
Yeah,
you
you could
tried.
probably jump it.
Okay. I'm trying to see my distance here. Yeah, I think Doc, right as this is all happening, realizes that they're about to fight. Doc would move around to get to the other side.
Okay. So Doc's gonna kind of get around over here. You want to jump across?
Yeah,
And that would be your 30 feet as you land.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's fine. Ezra, what do you want to do?
Ez is going to ready a spell on the kobold nearest to him. If the kobold does anything but surrender, the spell goes off.
Okay. And Luna is just gonna kind of clap excitedly, like she's just been waiting for this to happen, as she pulls out a couple now bloody daggers. Yeah, the guards look at you and they're like, you, I bet you don't even own a tavern. You tricked me. I'm so angry I could be sick. And you splashed Bartholomew over there. That's not nice. All right, and so he pulls out his sword. The
He's
two
got the same
kobolds.
name as the ogre?
Yeah, popular
Yeah,
name,
the
man.
brothers.
It's actually like a company
Apparently,
name.
Hey, well,
everyone
that's the
here is
family.
named Bartholomew.
The ogre, as you'll recall, was adopted by his friend's family, and
Oh.
this guy was their other brother.
Good save.
If you ever
Good
cared
save.
to ask, you would know. It was a
My name's
family of
Daryl.
crimers.
That's my brother
They're all
Daryl.
part of
That's
the
my other
hand.
brother Daryl.
Yeah, two brothers
That's
and their
Jim,
adopted
Big
brother
Jim,
who's a
Little
troll,
Jim, Slim
all
Jim.
named Bartholomew, spelled differently.
Of course. The silent Q is at the front of this one.
Bartholomew, one of them is L-E-U, one of them is L-E-W, and one of them is L-E-W-W.
Q-U-E.
Q. Silent Q. Bartholomew. Anyway, but you didn't even care to ask, so you don't know any of that. You just know that his name is Bartholomew. You splashed water in his face, or you splashed potion in his face, and he's now like hallucinating. So they pull their swords. The two kobolds break out a couple of potions that they had on their belts, and they look at you guys. And as all of that starts to ramp up, and you guys are about to roll for initiative, we will go ahead and take a short break. Hey guys, wanted to tell you about something we've got coming up. April 14th through 16th, the Campfires and Dragons crew is headed to the Nerd Culture Ministry Summit at Glen Erie Castle in Colorado Springs, Colorado. That's right, we'll be playing Dungeons and Dragons in a castle with a bunch of Christians. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a table for beginners. We're gonna have a table for more experienced players. We're even gonna be offering a table for people who want to try out Daggerheart. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're gonna have a whole variety of different options, and it'll be a chance for you to play D&D with Christians in a real castle. Not only that, but the Nerd Culture Ministry Summit as a whole is a conference that's designed to help people use their nerdy passions and interests for the kingdom. So if that sounds at all interesting to you and you'd like to hear from keynotes like Butch Hartman, the creator of Fairly Odd Parents, you can come spend the day, hear the keynotes, check out the workshops, and then play D&D with us in the evenings. It'll be a true blast. Plus, our friends at Emberglow will have merch there. You'll be able to pick up some new dice and stuff if that's something you're into. So if that sounds at all interesting, head to ncmsummit.com. That's ncmsummit.com. You can pick up your ticket, see a list of all the keynotes, all the details. We'd love to see you there.